Yeah, if you over there cussing and stuff and threatening folks.
Oh, that's a good thing. I cannot curse. That's good to know. Correct?
Well,
Okay, got it.
it'll just be you and Lovely T cussing. So we.
Welcome to the Roundtable Podcast, and I am definitely your host, Mr. Bouchel. We have our co-host today. We have here, and I'm going to go through it quickly.
Hold on. I'm definitely your host, Mr. Bouchel. When did that new intro come from?
Definitely your host. I am.
And then Mr. Bouchel, sex. I mean, what that old sexy?
Oh no, she ain't no sexy. Man,
Look, they got the fireplace.
He messed up the introductory.
I know.
Yeah.
Y'all look like y'all in the mountains somewhere on the retreat.
Have you ever heard him come in the intro like that?
Oh my God.
Bouchel.
It does look nice.
Sexism.
He digressed, so I can go ahead on to the.
Right.
He done messed my intro up, man. I'm coming in trying to introduce what's going on out here in this world. But anyway, I am the host. We have here today our co-host, which we have Lovely B. I said Lady B, Lovely.
Lady B.
I keep getting y'all messed up. Well, Lady B and Lovely T, all these ladies. I guess it's the L thing going on.
Lovely B, that's your wife, so that's true then. Lovely B.
Yeah. Right. We got Lady B, Lovely T.
That's right.
Here today, and RW3 as our co-host today, and we have a special guest that Lady B is going to bring on in a minute. But guys, before we do so, we would love for you to like and share this page. It's the same thing as it always been to our new guests. Maybe there's someone here new. Guys, listen, or will be coming on new. It takes time for people to start coming on. We're sending out those invites now as we speak. But we come on every Sunday at 4:45. That's right, every Sunday at 4:45. We try to keep hot topics or interesting topics so that you can talk about, or just to inform you, especially during this pandemic. Things have changed and so many turns and corners we turning and everything else. So it's a lot to talk about, guys. And but we thank you. We like to thank you for joining on today. And even after this pod, we normally get probably about 300 to 400 hits, depending on what the conversation is about. But guess what? After this conversation, we're gonna get into some stuff.
Yeah.
And listen, the topic is gonna be, why don't he call you back? Let me say it again. Why don't he call you back? He don't call back no more. I mean, after the situation that happened, the relations that
IW3 can answer that.
Yeah, why you don't call you? We want to talk about that, and we have a special guest who's going to come on.
Yes.
She's going to come on.
We got some a couple special guests.
A couple of special guests is coming on.
Coaches and
relationship coaches. And we want to know. Somebody out there wants to know why he's not calling you back.
Dr. B looked like she was ready to jump on that immediately. She was like, "Oh, see, look at that."
I'm gonna tell you why.
So we have already set up, guys, and listen. We're gonna talk about it. We're definitely going to talk about it after this pod that we're on today, which is a very interesting and serious, important conversation that we need to have. Coping. Teens are coping
with conflict
with this conflict.
Pandemic. Yeah.
Exactly. What'd you say, Lady B?
Teens that's coping with a lot of conflict within a home during this pandemic. So we're gonna most definitely touch on.
And it's a conversation that definitely needs to be talked about. Lady B is going to introduce our guest here, and we're going to talk about this. The pandemic, guys, has changed everything. You know, it's
yes.
just, I mean, it's like you ever heard that? Well, I think there's a phrase: throw a monkey wrench in the game, or whatever like that. And that's what just COVID-19 thing have done. It's thrown a monkey wrench in everybody's situation, whether you be a kid, whether you're in school, graduation, whatever that it might be, going to church, whatever it may, weddings.
Everything.
You know, you scared to go around people. Listen. Yeah, I don't want to put that out. I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna put that out there. But yeah, it's just you just don't know who you getting close to, even hugging. Hey, sister such and such and brother such. You like in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't want to catch nothing, you know. So you just wave and you know, I mean, it's thrown this monkey wrench, and that's why we're having this conversation with our team.
Yeah,
our
because
teams,
they want to go out.
They want to go. Yeah, no matter what it is we want them to do, they have a whole nother agenda. And you know, they're not like some of us where we can sit somewhere and be cool headed. You know, I can sit. And see, here's the thing: I'm a sitter. I can sit. You know, but maybe my son can't. You know, maybe he needs to go. You know, being young and you know how it is. That's what we did when we were younger. We wanted to go outside,
go to the mall,
exactly, and that's something that's stopping us from doing. It's something out there to stop. And I think the mutation have even changed. It's mutated to something even more. I think it's quicker, or you can catch it even a little bit quicker now, or something like that. I think I heard it on the news, and you know, my daughter is at U of M, and it's going around there. They said it's spreading even out in that area, and I'm telling her because she wanted to drink her bubble tea, whatever. She want to go out, and I'm saying, listen, don't go. And I'm a parent at home. Like, listen, I don't want you going everywhere. I mean, I know you want to go with your little friends. Y'all go to the little store, but please just be careful. You know, I know you going back to the dorm. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. I got to tell her that. You know how it is. You're just trying to be.
Most definitely.
You get a little. I don't want to use the word fearful, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, overprotected, because you know this thing is going around here and it's mutating out there and whatever. So awesome. But guys, we're going to get into this conversation. And Lady B, tell us who is our special guest today.
All right, we have Dr. Brandi here. Thank you for joining us here on the round table.
Yes, that's right, Dr. Brandi.
Dr. Brandi
is a clap track.
Yeah, she's a director, principal psychologist. She owns the Diane Morgan Group, and she also has she serves as the founder and the CEO of Future for Teens.
Wow.
It's a nonprofit organization with a commitment to change the game of mental health for youth.
Yes.
The F4T purpose is to heal the brokenhearted by providing customized, fun, and affordable therapeutic services through her most recent professional role as an assistant professor director of clinical training in Wayne State University.
She have a lot going on. That was a mouthful.
That's only half. I ain't read the whole thing.
Oh my Lord. You know, listen, I'm going to say this. You know, kudos to these Black women out here.
Yes.
You guys are doing your thing. I must say, sometimes you guys scared me. You know, the approach. You guys are taking over. You know, it's something I got to look at the Black men and I say, we got to step our game up. You know, young men, Black men, we got to step our game up, because these women, they doing their thing, man. I'm not even and see, even the guests that we've had on this show. You know, the Black women has been on this show, educated Black women, you know, educated Black. And here's the thing. Let me pause for a minute. I'm not saying because you went to college means you have it going on. That's not necessarily true. You get what I mean? The Black women has just been on this, whether you're a book writer. We've had, they didn't have degrees, they wrote books, you know, but you know, so they're
started
coaches.
Businesses.
Yeah, started businesses. But I'm saying gardens. Exactly, they have it going on. And kudos to all the Black women out there that really are doing their thing, you know, and I appreciate that. To the Black sisters out there, you guys are doing your thing, and kudos to you for staying in there and finishing that degree when, you know, some people didn't want to sit down in that seat all day,
I know.
listen to that professor, want to just go home, but
most
thank you
definitely
for
so.
staying abroad, and we're getting into this. Let's go ahead and get
So
into
we're going to kind of in this episode we're going to be discussing parents everywhere are struggling to get their teenagers and college students to shelter in place. Teens are not made for isolation, which makes COVID-19 especially hard on them, and it makes them difficult to control. Teens are wired to resent being stuck with parents and cut off from friends during this COVID-19 lockdown. So the rise in conflict with teens due to this pandemic. So it's been a rise of conflict within the homes with parents and teens and things that, yeah, most definitely. So my question is let's see here. What can we do to encourage teens to comply with the social distancing measures and as well as conflict within the home? How can we, what can we do to encourage them to comply with those rules?
Are you talking to the doctor?
Yeah,
you
so
talking to me,
Dr.
I'll say
Brandi.
get my belt out. Get my
You're
belt
gonna
out.
get your belt out.
Yeah.
You gotta whoop him.
So
Give him a spanking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do you think we can do to help them to comply with those rules? Because we care about our kids. We don't want them to get, the COVID-19 or bring it home.
I mean, first, if I could say, y'all feel like a good time. I am very happy and I just feel honored to be on the show, and especially when it comes to this topic, because I think our teens are on some capacity getting looked over, and their unique experience isn't really being acknowledged. So I appreciate y'all for bringing that to the forefront. I really want to talk about why he's not calling you, but we can get to that later.
That's right.
Right. But to answer your question, what can we do to support teens in kind of respecting the parameters, the boundaries, and the rules associated with the CDC and COVID? You all said it best. Lady B, you said it. Somebody said it, talked about how teenagers are at a stage in their life. And when I say teenagers, I mean probably preteen to even transition age teenagers. So from like 12 all the way to 24, right? They're movers and shakers. They're discovering their identity. Their life is around social connection and developing networks. That's what it's all about. Every movie associated with a teenager is situated in high school and clicks and the social dynamic. Like that's the stage of life they're in. Mm-hmm. So you're right. They're feeling very restricted. They're feeling isolated. And what I would say is don't get teens to comply. Like most people don't like when I say that, but it is a fighting battle. You will lose every time and we'll get distracted. So we don't get them to follow rules and comply. We get them to understand and empathize with what's happening in the world and to create their own rules for regulation. And usually they gonna come up with some of the same stuff we would have made them do anyway, but they feel like they came up with it.
That's right.
So a little trickery. I mean, I have to do this with my 6-year-old. So what do you think the punishment should be? I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be able to play the game. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Right. So we don't get them to comply. We essentially kind of manipulate them.
But see, here's the thing. I was sitting there the other day, and not the other. Well, whatever. Yeah. But my thought process was that this happened. It was a shocker to everyone when the COVID came out. Right. And see, I'm gonna be honest. I played this thing like it was. I actually made fun of. You heard about it in China. Okay, you heard about it in China, and I'm going somewhere with this. With the kids, we heard about it in China, and you know how in your mind you say, it probably would never come here. Something is over there, and they're dealing with it. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So you turn the channel, right? Whatever. You don't even want to think about it no more. And then we get on the plane. Me and my wife. That's the time when we went to Florida. Yeah. So we went down to Florida, and as we were on the plane, we went from Michigan to Georgia, and as we were, we laid over. We seen people getting off the plane that had masks on. And in my mind, I'm like, now that's a little over the top.
I'm like, why are they wearing a mask?
Yeah, I'm like, come on now, I said, "You just getting too deep with
Being
this."
extra.
Yeah, and that's where my
Extra.
mind was.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, we didn't take it serious. And then they started talking about, it's in America, obviously. When we were in Florida, we were looking on at the hotel and it was just like a big thing. And they talking about closing schools and stuff. And I'm like, wow, it's just getting this. Yeah, I said that was fast. So now we get home. So after we get home, and thank God, as soon as we get home, everything just broke out. So now here's the thing. Where am I going at with it? If I'm, me, I'm not really taking it serious. I've even heard I think it was a pastor who said, this thing is not, what everybody's saying it is. And then he called COVID and died right after he said it. So my thing is that I didn't really look at it. I don't know if I was in denial or whatever, but it's the thing where our kids now they're young-minded, they're eager to go out and do whatever it is they do. Is it that they're not taking this thing? Well, at first, I don't know how they feel now, but it's not a real reality to them. It hasn't kicked in because they feel like they got so much life. You even remember on the news when this thing first came out, they were trying to calm those people down in Miami because the kids were out there having fun and dancing. I remember one guy said, if I catch COVID, I'm just going, go get over it. It was a sense of, to me, denial. Now, could it be that these kids are walking or in denial that, maybe not as much now as it first came? What do you think about that?
But you speaking the truth, Mr. Tony. Like some of this isn't even unique to adolescence. It's magnified in adolescence, but it's not unique. I was the same way in the beginning. I was like, I don't know, this kind of extra. There's this sense of invincibility that is magnified when you're a teenager, but we all suffer from it because unless you have experienced something, and that could be anything, unless it's touched your home or a loved one, it seems so distant. And so, and then there's a cultural element too. Like people of color have been so misinformed about what's going on in the world that we don't trust it a lot of time. We're like, I don't know. The news can skew the story. They can skew things. They can manipulate the story. So we're like, I don't know if that's real until it gets too real. So I think our teenagers are dealing with the same thing we were dealing with.
Wow. And you had some more questions that you wanted to ask. And see, that's what I'm seeing. So in that is causing, I don't know the word to use in this, but it's causing confusion. I guess I would use that conflict where now all this balled up energy in the home, because it's, how hard it is to keep someone busy. You know what I mean? When you're trying to do it because, you have to keep the video games at a minimum. You have to do different things just so you, I wanted, back in the day, I wanted to do a documentary, and now because of the COVID, I don't know, but I'm still thinking about doing this documentary, and it was who are raising who in terms of our kids are being is the street raising our kids? Is this society raising our kids, or are we raising our kids? Who's raising our kids? Because my thing is that if it's not at a balance, that's who's teaching our kids. YouTube, all these social media platforms, and video games, and what they're learning on video games, and it's like it's so much going on that and if you try to pull that away from them, you're gonna catch some tension. Listen, I already can't go over my friend's house. You better not tell me to turn this TV off.
I gotta be online all day in school. So don't say you're gonna pull a game away from me.
And I said that to say, and to the doctor, what is some things, or how should you approach that situation in terms of that they're getting to? I think one day my son must have sat in front of that TV for I can't even remember. It was so long, so many days.
All day.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, I'm dealing with the same stuff. Like we're all in this thing together. We all trying to navigate this, and it's like if you're, I have a lot of empathy for the parents and caregivers, because if you're at home and your child is virtual learning and they're at home and you're working from home, it's a lot. There's not that delineation between our roles and our world. So it colludes. So yes, we are fighting an uphill battle. But I will say there's hope though, because there is an opportunity for greater intimacy with our young people. I don't know about you, but I'm super nosy. I want to know what's going on, what you're looking at. So and instead of being like, don't get on social media, it's more like, well, what are you watching? Ooh, teach me about it. Show me about it. My kids are younger. They're not teens yet, but they are very into like Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
Building the houses and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, teach me a little bit about it. Show me about it. We came up with a strategy, and you could do this with a teenager, depending upon what their interest is. You say, what are you doing? And then you turn it into a game. So I said once, I want you to build mommy 4 houses, and I'm gonna be the judge, and I'm gonna pick which house I want. And this is your restriction. Here's a timer. So I give them a timer. Here's a timer. You have an hour. So you get to do this for an hour on these given days. Now, let me keep it real. It don't always work. It really don't.
Right.
It just don't always work. It's imperfect. But you got to create a culture, a new culture within the home, and give yourself some, be patient. Be patient with yourself as a parent, and be patient with the teenager, because we're all agitated. It's like a pressure cooker. You know, I need to get out. I want to break free.
Yes.
Dr. Brandi, question, how much do you feel, for example, a lot of families, prior to this COVID situation, a lot of single parent homes, so moms and dads are working, or even couples, and there wasn't an opportunity. Well, I'm sorry, they didn't take advantage of the opportunity, because sometimes people at work could come home and just begin in the habituation of day to day, and not really have that relationship with the children where they're talking, communicating. And of course, children were at school all day. So how much does that contribute to, prior to the COVID, that there weren't really, I'm just going to use healthy for the sake of, till I find a better word, a healthy relationships between parents and children. So now we're in COVID. If the relationships they had a good, strong foundation, they were healthy. Now, all we're doing is building upon the foundation of healthy relationships that was already there. But if it wasn't there, it exacerbates this, because I was reading about a heightened teen suicide, heightened domestic violence. So if those relationships weren't healthy prior, it just triggers even more into what we're going into. How much do you believe that could attribute to that? Also, for your answer, I wanted to wait till Lovely T came back, and you mentioned about being nosy. You and Lovely T sisters. Her son, he told me, he said, you know what? I get ready to walk in the bathroom. My mom said, what you doing, 1 or 2? So she knows you like that too. He can't even go in the bathroom. Well, go ahead, Dr. Brandi.
I got to know.
Go ahead, Dr. Brandi.
I'm with you, Lovely T. I'm with you. You're speaking truth to power here. Coronavirus, that pandemic has done nothing more than magnify the imperfections and the challenges that families had from day one. It definitely created new challenges, but it has exacerbated and magnified things that already existed that we were pretending not to see. If I don't like my spouse, I get to go to work every day. I get to go to happy hour. I get to come home at the last minute and be tired and not have to deal with you. But now I'm sitting in it all day, right? Not me, but people. My child, we don't see eye to eye, but they get to go get respite with their friends at school. And now they don't. I get to go to work and find purpose and feel more appreciated than I do with this preteen that don't appreciate nothing I do. So you get that escape. So you are speaking truth to power in that if it wasn't a healthy or even a void engagement before, like there was no real relationship, it can feel very inauthentic to do some of the things that I'm describing now. It can feel very awkward and unreal. So what I suggest and what I tell my families and even my friends, and I'm even working to practice it myself. Like I said, we're all doing the same stuff. Vulnerable dialogue is magic. So if it's awkward, say it's awkward. If you don't really know your child, say that. I guess I don't really know you that well. I would like to get to know you. It helps to make it more genuine. It helps to bridge the gap. So you could go from unhealthy and dysfunction to repair and restoration. So what you're describing is so common for families.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge it.
That's right, and that's the thing. You know, one of the other things that I found out that the teens that are home, you know, they get into that situation where teens are going to be teens. You know that, right? Yeah. So they always curious about everything. Where I think I'm finding it is very important to know what your kids are looking at this time. And here they sitting on these computers. We had to literally go out and order. What was that we ordered?
What was the name of it? Norton, the parental.
Yeah, I had to order Norton to lock down so I could see what's going on computers. But wow, you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm like, I have a son. He's young. He's looking at life and all this stuff, and I need to know. What's going on this website now? You know what I mean? What you looking at, brother? You know what I mean? So, you can't do this even during school time. So it'll show us that, he's traveling to this page when he shouldn't be. Well, I had to start locking pages up and locking up YouTube and all this other stuff just so I can, it's so much they're bored. They're bored. And
isn't it hard? But isn't it hard? Like, I don't know about you, but it's hard to monitor everything. Like it's so much out there. Like, have you, I'm just curious. I know I'm not supposed to be asking the questions, but are you finding it challenging? Like keeping up, like, dang, I locked this site, but here's a new one. How did you find that?
But you know what?
My son.
Go ahead, T.
No, my son is right at that preteen. He'll be 13. He'll be he's 13. He'll be 13. Anyway, next month. Anyway, he's still very much though into like video games and things like that. So I'm not quite there in terms of worrying about like inappropriate sites or whatnot, but excuse me, guys. But yeah, but I can't imagine for other teens, like you say, you can't monitor everything. I monitor his activity through my phone because he likes to be on the phone more than anything, YouTube. So he can't even get access to like the adult YouTube. He can only have access to the kid YouTube. But they find a way. But I think it's so important, like what you talked about in terms of the relationship, if it was good before, this opportunity. So my question though, doctor, is, if like we heard in the news, the young lady that ran away from home, for example, and at first it was reported that she was missing. I think she was a Hispanic teen. They saw where the screen was cut out. They saw the guy on the camera, and then come to find out later through a private investigator, basically she ran away from home. So like when she comes home, of course, the parents are just thankful that she's alive and she's home. What are your suggestions in terms of like, how do you repair that? Not just that kind of situation, but, those volatile situations, those blow-ups, how do you build from there?
Ooh, that is a loaded question. And it certainly varies from family to family. And I don't want to say that as the answer, because it's like, okay, you got to offer us something, Dr. Brandi. But I do want to acknowledge that because as parents and caregivers, we want to be effective. I just want to be effective. I just want to access you and influence you in a favorable way. Okay. And I think if we can just remember that, that's the most important thing, because then that's going to help us to have patience with ourselves and with the child to navigate how can I customize my approach based on what I know about them. It takes a little longer and it can be tricky because there's a sense of urgency here. I got to keep you safe. I got to keep you healthy, but we want to be effective. And so when that young lady comes home or, after the blow up, it's a moment of just reckoning. Like first, number one, let's acknowledge what happened. Usually most families, mine included, it requires a lot of courage and a lot of maturity to even acknowledge what happened. Sometimes we just go back to life. Like, okay, the blow up's over and here's your dinner. You know, you just go back to life as it was. We have to first acknowledge it. I was really upset. Like, you really pissed me off. I was really mad, whatever your language is. How are you feeling about what happened? And then give them room to say. Most teenagers are going to say, I don't know, or, you know, kind of they might not be able to articulate it, but don't have to. As long as they know that you have the capacity to hold that space. Let's first acknowledge it and demonstrate the capacity to acknowledge it. And then we move forward. Okay, so now what? So I apologize for A, B, and C. What was your role in that? And just really have an honest and direct dialogue about what occurred. And then you create a plan for what happens next. Usually we skip to, okay, get your homework done. I'm glad you're home. I'm glad you're safe. Get your homework done, right? Because life moves. But I'm saying pause and acknowledge what's happening. That's like the biggest, most important thing. It sounds simple, but it's so critical because it creates emotional and psychological safety. And then next time it won't be as bad. It'll be like, we doing that thing again. Or, you know, I'm upset again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, when they were in school, I used to always ask about the day. Before they come home, he get in homework. What did you do the day? You know, I mean, what was your day like? Awesome. And because I want to know, and you know, I'm a private investigator by trade anyway. So no, man, I want to know what's going on. So
you and Lovely T, y'all are private investigators.
Yeah, see, it ain't nobody. Listen, I am the private investigator. My wife would tell you, I want to listen. It was one particular time. You see, it's all balanced, but it brings fun, humor to it. My daughter had to be in 5th grade or something like that. And I was just sitting on the couch, and my daughter came home. And the whole day she was sitting there minding her business, being her little self. And I said, I ain't gonna say her name because I won't put it out there. But I was like, I just looked at her and I said, and listen, we don't do this in our house. There's no cussing in our house, right? I said, you cussing in school, aren't you? I just looked at her and asked her that. She looked at me and she looked at me and she like, huh? I said, have you been cussing in school? For some reason, I just believe you've been cussing in school. I'm going to tell y'all something after why I'm saying that. And she looked at me, she said, well, yeah, I have. And I said, but that what makes you do this? She said, because of my friend, you know, and I'm picking up her words. And I didn't listen. Nobody told me anything. Yeah. Well, somebody told me something. It was good. See, listen, I believe that parents, this is just me. I always bring Bible in it. I believe that parents have an anointing. They just got to know how to walk in it. They have an anointing because of who you are as a parent. If you dial in, you know, you could listen. Every last one of my kids can come on and tell you that I told them something that they didn't know I knew. Yeah, just, you know what I mean? It's just, and I can tell them something. I mean, you know, no, it's not always bad. You know what I mean? But I am saying is that kids, if you're looking at this, which I doubt if you are, parents, they know. They know. Some of them be knowing. If you tune in, you know. Yeah. What you say? Let me see. You muted.
I said we have eyes in the back of our head.
That's right. We have eyes in the back of our head. And I just knew it, you know, but we had to talk about that. I needed to talk to her about why are you doing this? Because see, you go to these old, I want to say demonic schools, but you go to these schools with these devils, you go to school with these other kids and stuff, and they be on a rampage, and your kid pick up other stuff, and it's almost like you got to wash them down when they walk in the door and debrief them. You know, if he said that, don't believe it. If what he say, okay, that's not true. You know, because their minds are just moving, especially the school.
You got to cut them.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's just like college. They try to run game on you. They change. I think a lot of people's philosophy or whatever just change when they go to college. They believe something. They can be taught something when they go to school. They come back with a whole nother belief in a whole lot of different areas. But I'm just saying we have to. I think we have to constantly talk to our kids and over and over again, see what's going on in their world. You know if it's serious and you know if it's not serious. You get what I mean?
Right.
I can't come as an expert as a degree, but I can come as an expert as a parent. You get what I mean? So that's my expertise as a parent. You get what I mean? So to keep them out of trouble. So and I know some things that they are in. Why am I saying this? Just me being the host on this podcast, you have to tune in to your kids. You have to understand, like we said, the communication. Talk to your kids. Just talk to them. It starts there. The communication starts. When you see doors close in your house and they constantly been closed, sometimes we got to open the door and see what's going on. Listen, somebody bombed their house. What about the kid that bombed the school and his mother and parents didn't even know he was making all them bombs or whatever in his bedroom with the door closed?
But check this out. But this is the thing, and I'm not saying this to put more pressure on parents than we already have. I'm saying this to highlight our power. We have so much power. Our children learn first vicariously through us, social learning through us. So if my door is always closed, and I do close my door at times, so if my door is always closed, it creates a culture in the home where the door is closed. So then they close the door, right? So then I have to now teach them why they can't close the door, but I can close the door. It makes it easier on me to modify some of my own behavior, because just by watching me or just by seeing the dynamic, it will at the very least, it will cause what we call cognitive dissonance. It'll cause conflict. So when somebody else is doing something out of pocket, like you said, demonic, these heathens out here, when somebody's doing something that they ain't got no business doing, at the very least, our children will pause and say, well, dang, that's not how we do it at our house. I don't know if I should do that, because it's natural for teenagers to go explore. They're going to leave, they're going to go to college, they're going to get entertained and on some levels seduced by other ideologies, other ways of thinking. But if we can create that pause where they stop and they think critically, I don't know, I don't want to have to explain this. Y'all were like, I don't want to explain this to mama. My mama don't play. My daddy don't play. I don't want to explain that. Then it'll create a pause. So yeah.
It's and just and to everyone's point, not having to close the door, and our children, the best to our ability, having an open door where no matter what they want to talk about, that we don't say, for example, we can scaffold what we're communicating to their level. Couple examples. My daughter, we were in the Woodward area, and everybody know about the Woodward area. There was someone walking up to my car, and she, and I was like, get away. And so we began to have this discussion about prostitution, about prostitution, right? My daughter and I. Then later on, she asked me, she said, "Daddy, she's 10. What does pimp slap mean?" So we started talking about pimp slapping and prostitution and everything. And one day we went to
did you tell the woman you would pimp slap her?
What?
See, I can see you not focused on the podcast.
See, that's how rumors get started, lovely.
Right. And then, one time, we were in the car, and I know it's challenging for a young lady. She was like, "Well, Daddy, she's 10." She said, "What if I'm with you when I come on my cycle instead of being with my mom?" So I said, "Well, Daddy just gonna go on over to Meyer, and and we had that discussion, or whatever the case may be." And to y'all point about technologically monitoring, this has been the greatest thing, because we have the iPhones. So I have the monitoring, like you said, Tone, creates an opportunity for dialogue. For example, she has screen time with her phone when it shuts down for all operations. If she needs, at 10:30, if she needs more time, 9:30, she has to request it. It comes up on my phone, and then I have to respond to what she's requesting more time for. If she wants a specific, like you said, application, and then she'll say requesting this, I'll look it up, then I'll call her. I say, we'll have a discussion about the application that she wants to download. So with the monitoring, as opposed to it being a quote unquote big brother, it creates an opportunity for us to dialogue when they do it. Okay, what's behind you wanting this or accessing this? and they give you the opportunity to have a conversation with your young people.
If I could ask the doctor too, because you talked about earlier about not having rules. And so that's, I don't know, I'm not going to say it's a gender thing, but it, you know, some, I ain't going to say it's a gender thing, but, you know, there's this thing about, you know, you're going to respect my rules. This is my house, you know, so there's this way of parenting that has come through the generations that's more about, you know, respect and following rules. So this is more for the parents in our audience. You know, when you say it's not about rules with teenagers, I'm sure there are some people like, oh, you got to be out your mind. You know, this is
like she.
Can you unpack that a little more?
Yeah, I would be happy to. Thank you for asking that, because I absolutely believe in rules. I think children need us, and they actually desire us to help them regulate their life. Like physiologically, their executive functioning is not fully developed anyway. They need us for that. I'm more talking about how you cultivate rules. We need them. We have to have them. But I'm talking about not having rules for the sake of having rules. I'm talking about having rules that are intentional and thoughtful and customized and created so that it makes my life easier.
Yeah, that's right.
And it helps you to navigate life more efficiently and effectively. And that creates a lot more thought than just, first of all, I don't want my children, me personally, to respect my house. I want my children to respect me and themselves and their father, period. And then the people around them. If you respect me and you know that I put food in the house and I keep the lights on, and you know the dynamics of what it takes to make the house run, then what is your contribution to that? So that's the conversation. What is your contribution to our family home? Don't you love our home? Yes, I love our home. Isn't it warm? Don't you have things to play with? Don't you have internet? Yeah, they do. So what can we do? So it's not you gonna respect it. It's what can we do to honor what we have? Like, what would you like to do to contribute to our home? And they'll say, my children are younger again, but they say, well, they love the dishes. I'm gonna do the dishes.
Oh, wow.
Great. And that's what you do. Thank you. Then that's what you do. And then my job though is, because I get frustrated because they're younger. So I'm like, I just got to get this done real quick. My job is to let them do it wrong, right? To let them do it wrong, to develop that. Now with teenagers, you have even more flexibility because their capacity is bigger. So you get to talk to them about when you are making the bills for the month. Check this out. What do you think? How do you think we should do this? Because your cell phone is a little bit higher than it was last month because you've been getting these apps. How do you think what should we do about this? And they're going to be like, I don't know, you know. So that next time they're doing things that are out of line, they think about the consequence, you know? I'm all about the rule. I just think they need to have a stake in creating it.
Well, I appreciate you unpacking that because, again, I know that some parents have difficulty in even giving their kids voice because they come from kids are seen and not heard. And, you know, kids says, why? Because I said so, you know, so it's like and so I'm glad that you're unpacking it because you're letting people know, like, you know, it's okay to let your kids have some, you know, decision making within some boundaries, but it's okay, like you say, for that psychological reason to help them start thinking critically and feeling a part of the bigger picture. It's just a different approach than traditionally, perhaps, how, you know, we've approached child
Lovely T, hold on, let me ask this question, Tom. Lovely T, at the beginning of this, did you actually say you wanted to ask Dr. Brandi the question for the audience? Just shake your head, yes or no. For the people out there, let me tell y'all, and I'm glad you said that, Dr. Brandi. Her son, in terms of when you said let somebody make a mistake, I don't have one around me. A leather belt. She got it over her shoulder while he washing dishes. She don't let him make a mistake because if she sees something on there. So I'm glad you said that. If she's really saying that for herself. She's trying to
blast. How you gonna put Miss Lovely T on blast? But it's it's also got to be age appropriate. Like, so age appropriate and personality too. Personality sync. I have 2 children. One of them, I could look at him and he will tear up and he will straighten up. The other one, I will look at him and he will look at me, and I will look at him and he will look at me. He need to see something else.
That's right.
He need an added layer, so you have to you can navigate how you deal with your children. I don't think there's a one size fit all. And I do not want to condemn parents for doing what they think is in the best interest of their child. I just want parents to feel empowered to think adaptively about the bigger picture. That's all. Because if we're going to teach our children to think bigger about how they navigate the world, then we have to demonstrate that love, that skill for them. Just like, I wanted to make another comment. Y'all be getting me excited with some of these topics. Lovely, you made a statement. You was talking about the traditions and the old ways and giving children a voice. Children have to have a voice, because if they don't, and we don't help them navigate how to use it, they have to mess up with us so we can help correct them. When you talk to me that way, I feel highly disrespected. That is not acceptable in this home. You tell me how my son will say, I hate you. I don't think you hate mommy. I think you're upset with mommy. So what you say to me is, mommy, I'm mad. You're a teenager. F you. The teenagers will do that. F you. Can you think of another word that describes how you feel in this moment before I show you this belt? Like, I don't know. It might have to sound like that. Let me give you a minute to find another word so that you can develop flexibility and how you do conflict with me, because you want them to have voice. Otherwise, when they get to that job, they're going to be a pushover. Their boss is going to be doing whatever, and they're not going to know how to stand up for themselves. Or if I don't correct the way in which you conflict with me, they're going to pop off all the time. So I got to help them know how to do it, not to not do it, because then they're not going to be able to navigate the world.
What you said, it took me a long time to get to that place. It took me a long. If you say, if you cussing on, what did you say? I'm gonna lend this ear one time, and that's all you're gonna see. Oh Jesus Christ! I don't know, Doc. Listen. I wasn't there. I couldn't get there. No, you couldn't. You got a mind. You just better watch what's coming out that mouth. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a sign of respect, because you should respect. And the Bible tells you that you're supposed to honor the ones that come before you. So you're supposed to honor your parents. Just like we're supposed to honor our kids, you're supposed to honor your parents. So in my mindset, that was a long. It took me a long time.
It take a lifetime, Mr. Tony. This is a challenge, and this is the thing. We are all in agreement. You need to respect the home, and you need to respect your parent.
Right.
But respect has to be operationalized. Yeah. Like what behavior demonstrates respect is what we're teaching them. I need to teach you what that looks like, not just it's this abstract concept that teenagers they don't have executive functioning. They do know, because they know intuitively. Like, don't play like you don't know. You 14, you know what you did was wrong, right? But we got to show them how that manifests in their behavior, how they talk, what they say, and what they do. And that's the challenge that we're all facing. The only other point I really want to hit home, because this is like major, I'm pause for effect, is, I'm a little dramatic, is that our children, to some degree, are only as well or able to be as well as we are. And so sometimes our tolerance for the BS or their attitude is a little bit less about them, and it's associated with other stressors, right? So sometimes as a parent, I don't have the tolerance to help you navigate this. I need you to just get it together. And a lot of parents are dealing with that with their teenagers. It's like the patience is short, the irritability is high. And we have to remember that what does this have to do with? Like, what am I really agitated by? Because a lot of times it's not really, it's just a dish. Like, it's just a dish.
I remember seeing on television or YouTube, this father, he took his son video game and he put it out, he put it outside and rolled over it with his tire. You know what I mean? He just rolled over it. I mean, he just rolled. I mean, and that's the kind of guy I am. I'm keeping it 100. I'm that kind of guy. My son's video game is torn. It's here in this studio right now in one of the file cabinets, broke. I said, oops, I dropped it. You know what I mean? So see, but that's I mean, that's just me, because I'm just, you know, here's the thing. I know that, and I know they have to get there. Kids have to get there. It's a process. I understand that. But see, my thing is that, you know, if I know, I have bad habits to where if I see someone doing good that's a kid, I turn around, I look at mine, I say, what you did you see? Why that ain't you? Why that couldn't be you? Oh, you know, I'm just, but I'm just saying, a lot of times it's just that I want the best out of my kids, and I go hard. They know I go hard. Maybe that could be a little dysfunctional, going too hard. I get that too, but I go hard with mine, and because I want to see their best. And I know they have to be kids. I know the whole story and all that. Let them be kids. You know, I get it. I understand. But see, as a black man raising a black son, you see what I mean? And see, my son, he deals with the other persuasion a whole lot, because that's his surrounding, that's his community that he lives in. And I have to tell him, I have to remind him all the time. I have to say, hey, listen now, you know, it's some things you got to go harder in. You see what I mean? Because of what you look like, and yeah, they can go and cash out. You get what I mean? I've seen them where they'll go last year in school and then catch up and, you know, get the job and whatever. I see you can't do that. You're going to the 11th grade, you know, and sooner or later you're going to be going to college. And I said, now you got to tighten your belt up. You can't be on video games every day, all day. If you choose to whatever, midnight hour, and then go take your test at the last minute, you studying at the last minute. You can't do that, because, and see, that's what took the video game out of the house. When grades drop, that's gone. It's gone. Because see, my thing is that I know who you are, and I know what you need to be striving to become, and I know how this world plays. Me and my wife are business owners. We know how tough this world is, cold-blooded. And they're not going to they're not going to have slack on you like you have slack, like we have slack on our kids. They're not. They're just not. There's some jokers out here. So you have to be prepared to have those tools. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I'm talking to those people who could be out there. Yeah, we have to buckle down. I mean, let them be kids. We get it. I understand that. But listen, I'm talking to black folk. And that's why I said black folk. You know, we have to tighten our belt up, because listen, life is not given to them. Life is not given to these kids. You're going to have to work for it. And it's a competitive world out here. You know, I digress. I pull back. It's some things that just triggers for me, where I'm like, you know, because I know how tough it is out here, and I know that they have to be ready. Well, guys, listen, you know, we thank our guests for coming on to the pod. You know, listen, you know, let's put on the screen. What
you want to tell our audience, like what you do and how they can reach you if they need any services?
Absolutely. Dr. Brandi Pritchett-Johnson. Everybody calls me Dr. Brandi. The Diane Morgan Group is the name of the practice. I am so terrible with like Instagram and all of that, but you can find me at Dr. B or Dr. Brand PJ on Instagram, Dr. Brand PJ. And then Dr. Brandi at thedianemorgangroup.com. And then there's another resource I actually do want to share with the public that is at no cost. There are limited services, but there's no cost for therapeutic support at Wayne State University's Mental Health and Wellness Clinic. So if you Google Mental Health and Wellness Clinic, you can get short-term free telehealth services. For me specifically, though, because so much of this conversation has really spoken to me as a parent and as someone that works with teenagers a lot. They need rules, they need discipline, they need support. We have so many tools in our toolbox that we do not utilize as parents, And I'm here to help parents learn how to do that. Like, how do you navigate and adapt your approach to be most and more effective with your teenager? So that's what I'm all about. Thanks for having me.
Nonprofit, real quick, before you go, what about the nonprofit? What do you do with the nonprofit?
So Future for Teens is our low cost mental health support. We haven't done much, I'm gonna keep it real with you, in the way of COVID, because it was very social and engaging, but we do stay connected with our families. So through the Diane Morgan Group and Future for Teens are together, so futureforteens.com, and we offer consultation. We're actually working on a documentary right now. I'm happy to share the premiere with you all, and you can share with your network, because we want to make mental health cool and fun and really support families in creating a community of health and wellness that's woke and cultured and, that's real for our families. So we really help consulting in that way.
Our daughter Tatiana would love to talk with you, Dr. Brandi. She's into like Black, she's a UM student. She's into like mental health for the Black community and things like that. So I would love for her to talk with you.
Give her my number. I would talk to her too. Give her my number. And because Mr. Tony, this piece about like the traditions of our culture and like the respect and all that, there are so many tools and strategies that are more effective with teenagers. And I'm happy to share those.
Okay.
And Doctor, real quick, I just had a question. Is there an age that a teen can seek out counseling without parental consent?
Oh, that's wonderful. In the state of Michigan, if you are 14 years old, you can seek care without consent for up to 4 months or a certain amount of sessions. So there's a session limit and there's a month limit. So eventually you would need consent, but if you need immediate services, you can initiate contact and get consultation and then kind of go from there.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's good.
Great.
Well, we love having you on the show.
Yes,
I mean, you will,
it's been a bomb.
and I think that we need to bring her back.
Yeah.
Where are you here in Michigan or are you out of state?
No, I'm here in Michigan. I'm in Pontiac.
Oh, yeah. Wayne, you mentioned Wayne State. That's right. Okay, so I think that
great information.
Great information. That's good. So, I want to see about having you on to see, what your schedule is like. Maybe we can bring you on as a regular to the show about what's going on.
Oh, thank you.
And let's talk. Mental health is something that's very big, especially now in this time that we're dealing in. We need to know how to cope with situations. And I think you will be the voice for that. We're going to keep you on the radar and bring more of this on so that we can just have this as an ongoing thing. We'll figure this out but we definitely want to reach out to you and your expertise in how this thing should happen. Maybe we could bring on some. But
Dr. Brandi, I was wondering why I was hearing
you got all the ideas.
But doing the podcast, I'm wondering where I was hearing them shots from. Now I know. I'm like, what them shots, them bullets, them shots coming from?
Oh, good. Don't be
I'm like, Lovely T. I'm like, I know Lovely T. I know Tom.
That's Shane over there. That's Shane. We good.
Y'all saw me kept looking this way. I'm thinking it's the shots here, but I know where they're coming from now.
You're wrong for that. You're wrong. So thank you all so much. I would love to have a conversation about returning, and thank you for making Black wellness a thing, because we need to talk about it.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we'll talk to you.
We'll talk to you. See you.
We're gonna go into our relationship hour.
We're gonna go into the relationship hour. So be safe and be blessed. Definitely. So guys, listen. That's right. Okay. So we're going into the next topic, next conversation.
Producer have to, we can do Jeopardy, but producer got to send out. All
right, go ahead and send out them now so we can go ahead and how your people plug in. I'm eating this popcorn.
Well, let's think real quick. We had Keba Richmond Green who made a comment. She's coming from Facebook.
Oh, she's going to be on. That's our next person that's going to be on.
She says you got to have a balance and you can't be fear driven. Then Janice Black Haynes, she said great information. Thank you. We appreciate Ms. Black Haynes for jumping on, and
Yes.
we'll be seeing Ms. Richmond Green shortly.
That's right. No, we're sending out the links now to those.
And then we also have another guest that's coming on too. So it should be in there. Yep.
So guys, listen. Our next topic in this next conversation, you know, it's one that's one. I mean, it needs to be talked about. Maybe just to be able to help someone. I don't know who's out there that's not getting a phone call back. You know, you went out, you gave all your money to him. You know, he turned you over, flipped you upside down, and you know he did whatever he did to you that night. You know, you thought it was.
Is this one way? Is it just?
Well, I mean,
call you back?
However, no, it's just one way. It's one way. Whoever it plays to, whether it's a he or a she, maybe
okay, that's my question.
Whoever it applies to, why is that calling you back? You know, but that conversation after that good time, after that good night, after that partying, and you guys made a talk on social media for hours at a time and months or whatever, and it got up to that night, you know, you know, and now after that night, this guy's not calling you back. This woman is not calling you back, you know, just to play into lovely T, you know, because I was just saying the woman, but I can be diverse, you know, you can play the diverse thing, you know, we want to have a balance. That's what they say, balance, right? So my thing is that why? Why? Why you're not getting a call? Should you have gotten a call back? You know, or what was your intentions? What did you plan on happening in this situation? Before we come on, you know, I guess we're gonna play a little video. We're gonna play a little game or whatever. Before we go into the next
game while our producers getting everybody on.
Everybody popping on. So
here we go.
Producer, I want you to come in on this.
She was sending out the links,
All
but
right,
I guess
give me a second because I'm like sending out these links at the same time.
Yeah, because we wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But and that's what we're talking about, guys. Why are he or she calling you back? But guess what?
We could just let RW3, you know.
Well, I mean, you know,
I'm sure he could tell us why he don't call people back.
Well, I mean, you know, we're gonna let's find that out. You know what I mean? But until then, we're gonna have an icebreaker. And guys, guess what? You can participate in this. You can participate. What is this game we playing?
This Jeopardy, I believe.
We're playing Jeopardy, guys, for now.
Specifically, Black Jeopardy.
Black Jeopardy. Oh, Black Jeopardy. So we're gonna let the producer take this over and show us what it is we're doing.
All right, give me like 2 minutes.
Oh, she needs 2 minutes.
She ain't ready yet. She's producer.
It's just one person, just two people you were sending it to.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, you get the whole
The last time we played Black Jeopardy, Lady B won. Woohoo!
I didn't get it.
But Lady B, I done picked up on your strategy. I'm gonna just let you know because I'm a learner. So I picked up on your strategy. So
all right, dude.
Well,
what's her strategy?
I didn't know nothing.
She's having the answers in advance.
Listen, I didn't know anything. No, she didn't. Because if she
we was going for it, but she had a strategy. She pulled it off.
We can do battle of the sexes. Me and Tone against y'all too.
Well,
there's going to be 2 teams this time. So, yeah, whoever wants to team up, that's totally fine.
But you know, we might be going on Family Feud, guys, our family. We auditioned for it. They called us in. Yeah, they coming to Detroit. They called us in to do the audition and everything. So we might be on Family Feud, Steve Harvey.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we got to do our
family not big enough, but yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
well, you can work on that. Make your family bigger.
You come on and be a cousin.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can do that too. So,
all right, so it looks like we've got our links out, so that's cool.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get it because they could be clicking on any minute now.
All right, so we're gonna do 2 teams. So we're gonna do Lady B and Lovely T, and then RW3 and Mr. Michelle. All right. So this one's shorter than the last one that we played. So there's only, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 categories. So the first one is for the culture. They said it in a song, seen on TV, Black history, and then put some respect on my name. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to have the ladies go first. So you guys can go ahead and choose a category.
So you want to go first, Lovely T?
Well, Lady B, you were excellent with the music category. So let's go for They Said It in a Song for 300.
All right. So it says, we sip champagne when we thirsty. So
we got to guess the song?
Yes, or at least the artist. So it said they said in the song. So more than likely they're looking for the artist.
I'm going to go P. Diddy.
Okay. So it's a countdown. So it's 10 seconds still left.
Okay.
Any other name
champagne when we thirsty. Oh, P. Diddy, you think?
Yeah, I said P. Diddy.
So Biggie Smalls? Could we say Biggie Smalls / P. Diddy?
One or the other. One or the other.
All right. So let's see. So your time's up.
So
I'm going to go ahead and reveal that answer. What is Juicy?
What?
Oh,
you didn't get
Biggie. Oh,
Biggie.
you got that right. Lovely T.
It's champagne when we thirsty.
Oh, hold on. Y'all didn't get it.
Yes, we
Y'all can't give 2 answers. Y'all on the same
did. We
team.
got it.
We got it.
Y'all
No,
have
I
to
did not
agree.
know. She has said it secondly, and she said Biggie. So,
All right, Tone.
Yeah.
You hear that? So we can just give different answers. 3 or 4
We
answers.
can do the
So
same
that's
thing.
300.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Pineapple. And so the guys is the team watermelon. Okay, so guys, you guys can choose a different category. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that really quick. All right. Next
We
category.
know she up in the club. We know she got that. But go ahead.
This go with for
I am
300.
a hip hop queen. Wait a minute. Is it still our turn?
still our
No.
turn.
Oh,
Oh,
is it?
Yeah.
okay, go
It's
ahead.
still our turn.
Go ahead.
Choose a
Lady
category.
B, go ahead. I picked the first category. Your turn.
Seen on TV.
All right. So seen on TV
For what point? For which
For
one?
200.
200. Oh, in a 90s kind of world, I'm glad I got my girls. What show is that? 25 seconds on the clock.
Oh,
This is so
I'm
easy.
glad
Don't say
I
you-
got
My
my
girls.
girls. Put your head up. Yeah, put your head up.
Head up.
That's,
Oh.
I look at that
Got 10
show now.
Don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing.
It's not girlfriend, Lady B. It's
What's the time they got, Tom?
They got 2 seconds
Time up.
and time is
single
up.
world.
Single.
Single.
I'm
Can
single.
me, hey, so can me and Tone still
Yeah, you can still.
Yeah.
Single.
What's
living single?
Oh,
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it
But
is.
go
It's living
ahead.
single.
we said
No, it's
single.
not.
It
It's
is.
living single.
Oh,
It is
We had
living
said single, but we just didn't say
Well,
what
you
is
gotta
living
say the
single.
word.
the song and everything.
That was easy.
Okay,
one.
200.
We
All right.
got
So, guys, you guys can go ahead and choose.
Okay,
a category.
We
Uh,
want
I'm gonna do this one real quick before we get out of here for the guests. Let's do 300. Put some respect on my name.
All right, here we go. The artist is the founding father of funk and godfather of soul and a major figure of the 20th century. Also
James Brown.
work.
Oh, they
James
got
Brown.
20 seconds on the clock.
He said it, James Brown.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 1 second. Let me...
Who is James Brown?
Yes,
that was
is
easy.
correct.
Though. That was easy.
All right, y'all lost. We can move on with our guests.
Yes.
Wait, we don't have both our guests on, do we?
Well, we have
Oh,
one
we
more
have
guest,
one here. We shouldn't. I mean,
Hi,
shoot.
guys.
gotta be started. 'Cause we
Well,
have-
let's do this last one
yeah, let's
for
do
the
this
guests.
last
Go.
one.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Because they want to cut us now.
That's right.
Right. It's
So
There
still
you
on
go.
us.
Score. What's the score?
The RW3, you take one category, whichever one.
We will take 300. No, we'll take 200. They said it in the song.
So this song resurfaced and was remixed 13 years after its release. It's normally played every so often at a house party or kickback, perceived as a threat to whites. Okay.
Wow.
That's 16 seconds on the clock. I don't know how a song could be a threat, but I don't know. It's
perceived as a threat to whites.
6 seconds.
And we get to steal.
Play that funky
No.
music, white boy, or
Oh,
no, the house,
okay.
house is on fire.
All right. So
I don't
I
know
heard
what
two
RW3.
answers. So
But you might be right, Tom.
Well, I don't know which
Can
one
we
you want to
go?
go with.
yeah, you guys
But
can
you can,
give an answer, and I'll reveal the answer.
Is
Which
it
one you
Fight the
wanna go with?
Power by Public Enemy?
no.
All right.
Which one you wanna go with?
Answer. So which one? So they said Fight the Power with Public Enemy, and then you guys said
Tom mentioned White Boy and he mentioned The Roof is on Fire.
okay. Let's
There's
see.
your
Which
mother's
one you want to go with? The Roof is on Fire?
They did two. We could do two too, like they did.
Biggie did a lot of it too. Wait a minute. Biggie, oh man.
All right.
Go ahead. I don't know this one.
What is Snuck If You Buck
If
by
You Buck
Crime Mob?
by-
Oh,
I don't know that.
I would have never got that.
All
All
right.
right.
We need
Well,
to get going now.
So
that
we-
is a cool,
we're
very
all
quick
right.
round.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go on to the show.
Yes.
All right, so let's do it. So, guys, you can go ahead and bring this on, Lady B.
All right. So I want to welcome our guest, Dr. Keba Richmond Green. Hi, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Dr. Keba?
Her mic is muted.
I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we want to thank you here on the round table for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. So we got a hot topic today. This topic is on fire.
He won't call you back.
He won't call you back.
He will not call you back. And we need to get to the bottom of this. You know, before you go into it, you went out, you had the good time, whether it's he or she, you've been anticipating this moment. You know, you went out, got your best dress on, your lipstick, you bought those heels, you did everything that was required. You did everything that was required. For this guy for this situation, for this guy to call back, you went out and got your favorite cologne, and you got that tighted suit, that slim, tight fit suit. You know, you went out, you showed off, you showed some cash, but guess what? She won't call you back. What is going on here?
Wow.
Why we thought this was going to happen. We've been on social media for a long time talking. We talked about how we felt about one another. We had some things in common. We had some things in common. And yeah, at least
or
we
did
thought
you?
we did.
Right. Or did you have some things? Right.
He's not calling you back. So let's get into this topic. Who is our special guest today?
All right. So we have Dr. Keba Richmond. She's a psychotherapist, a relationship coach, an entrepreneur, published author, and an international speaker. Awesome.
Wow. Okay.
She has a master certified matchmaker. She's a master certified matchmaker, science-based dating and relationship coach, creator of the Get Real, Get Love coaching system, and the founder of AV Connections. Wow.
All right.
Man.
So we have, okay. So, we've been getting these doctors on today, haven't we? So that's a good thing. And our thing is just that, I guess we hit it on the head. We just gonna jump out there and start talking about it. Doc, why, Doc? I mean, they did all the right things. At least they thought they were. But that phone call,
or at least they thought they were.
Yeah, she's waiting by the phone, and there is not a return. Why is that happening?
Wow. You know what? I truly believe that, and I tell clients all the time, I truly believe that men tell you the truth in the beginning. I do. I think they tell you the truth up front. And how you respond is how they choose to deal with you afterwards from that day forward. So did she really hear him? Did he say he really want to kick it? Or did he tell her from the beginning, this is just, it is what it is, and so, or booty call or whatever. I'm not looking for a relationship. I don't want to be involved. I just want friends with benefits or not. I just want to get into bed with you one time. And, maybe it's a challenge. Maybe it's a conquering, men like to conquer, right? So maybe it was a conquest. It could be many, many reasons. I was told today by someone that maybe the sex was too good and it scared him away.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You know how we always, we say we think the sex was bad for them to leave, but maybe it was too good for them to leave, and they couldn't handle it.
Wow.
Now, that's what we need to put up as a lower third. No, I'm just playing. That'll bring them in on this social media player. Was it so good that they didn't call me? I mean, listen, okay, right. We get it. We know the game. It's been, the chasing game for fellas for years and years and years. The chasing, getting the game, and some used to call it a trophy. Just to make that and seal the deal and put it up on the shelf. And, hey, listen, or back in the day, if you go back farther, some had something called a black book before social media came out. They had that little black book. And, so let me ask you this, Doc. Could low self-esteem be tied to this in terms of what do you see now when you on social media? You see all of the women, turning around, getting their favorite picture taken, a lot of, I don't know why it's so popular to show your butt, but that's one of the biggest things out. Women have to show their butts on social media. I guess they want to show somebody see how big their butt is. I'm just going to keep it at 100. She had to show how big their butt is. So the guy, he's looking and he's like, okay, oh, wow, okay. Or they show that famous picture from the side. We got that thing now where we say, did you get my side? I want you to take that picture takes better. I get better pictures on this side. And I smile, get a little smile, and maybe I get a little jerk over.
Right. I don't get the lip thing. You gotta throw the lip thing in there too when they.
I'm so tired of that look. When they got the lip crunching and everything, and I guess that's cute. I don't know, but old boy is looking and he's like, okay, I see. Now, is it a thing where these men are, they're looking and in their mindset, this woman is putting herself out there, and all I want to do is what I see you're presenting to me. Absolutely. Because you're selling something to me and I want to buy it. You know what I mean? So is it that in the first place, my agenda, was already messed up when I was online and I seen you? What do you think about it?
Absolutely. We, I'm probably as old, or I've come from a generation from you all, so I believe that we can do too much, and show too much. However, that's their norm, that's their reality. I get it, but absolutely, that we're physically attractive first, right? Because that's what we see. We see the physical. So of course, if you're putting your attributes out there, you're putting your boobs out there, you're putting your butt out there, that you're a man, and and you're gonna look. Men are visual. Women are, mental, and so, or emotional. So men are going to look first. So absolutely, that could be a thing. Like I said, that may be an agenda in the beginning. He knows that he has to take you out and buy you dinner first, maybe, because again, look. We've been saying this phrase a long time. Be better, have my money, right? We know for a long time that you got to spend cash to get the ass. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's how it goes in the dating game. So he knows that he has to take you out to dinner, right? In most cases. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of Netflix and chill going on as well, where people just bring the popcorn over and you get to business. But in most cases, men expect to spend some money on a date in order to get sex, and that's maybe their only agenda.
So let me throw this out here. Look at Lovely Teeth. Look at she ready to be entertained. So when I think about this, and I think about, for example, universal norms. So when I think about, hey, when we're in, when you begin to drive and you enter into the world of being a driver, you go Secretary of State, get the driving test, and there's a book that gives you the norms. Hey, red light, green light, stop sign, that we all, when we get our license, universally agree what it is.
Right.
The thing about this calling, not calling, there aren't any universally agreed upon things that we agree to. So for example, I want to go backwards to front. Instead of why doesn't the man or the woman call unless you get an understanding before you lay down? Don't expect the call. Why you even expect it? Don't expect me to call you unless we agreed on the front end that I was going to call you.
That's good.
Otherwise, don't expect it. In your mind, I'm about to lay down, and this person is not going to call me. If they call me, oh, okay, that's a welcome call. Otherwise, don't expect it. Lovely T, holla at your boy.
So you saying, like, and I'm just going back to one of the scenarios that Tone presented. You've been talking to this person, communication has been great, off the chain. You finally decide that, I mean, to me, in that kind of situation, like, I think there is a norm that has been established, right? Because you all have been communicating prior to, you know, hooking up or whatever. And so I think it would be within the norm to expect that that communication will continue despite the fact, you know, that you guys may have hooked up. So for it to not would seem abnormal. And I think for me, like, that's where the anxiety kicks in. And I could be totally wrong.
You're wrong.
It's
Go
like,
ahead.
shut up. It's like a totally different behavior than what was initially presented that throws the person off. And then my question to the doctor, even like with the time frame, right? Because just because they didn't call that day, you know, the person can jump to a whole lot of conclusions. But it could be a numerous amount of reasons why they didn't call that day, and then they call you 2 days later. You know what I mean? So is there like a time frame that, you know, or is there like an average amount of time that people should kind of chill out before they jump to conclusions?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrible.
Is it doctor? What do you think about that, doc?
I'm agree with him. I'm agree with the gentleman. There is no expectation. The problem is there's assumption that nobody's communicating that I want you to call me afterwards. There's assumption. That's not that doesn't mean that it's supposed to happen. If nobody's talking and nobody's having the conversations, then you got one thought process, they have another. So no, ma'am, that's not a proven fact that I'm supposed to call you back because we've been talking before. That's something that get women hung up on mostly. I would say, I know men do it too. But one thing I say is somebody's going to always catch your feelings, right? Somebody going to catch feelings, whether it's the woman or the man, after you have intimacy, right? And so it could be the man, it could be the woman, and then somebody's always left hanging, wondering what happened. Like you said, it's been 24 hours, it's been 3 days, it's been a week, man, you ain't call me. Now you and your friends, it always have to be they initiate the call, whoever, you know, the other person. So you pick up the phone and call and find out what's really going on. What's up? You know, are we hooking up again? Are we in this? Are we out of what? You know, but people don't do that. People don't do that. People don't communicate, you know, what they want, because people don't know what they want.
Right. So Dr. Keba, do you think a man lose interest in a woman when she gives it up so soon?
I honestly don't think it matters. I think it depends on the people. You know, I can't just say that men lose interest. Women lose interest. Nowadays, women are more about, you know, just jumping in the bed and finding out what you're about and leaving too. So I can't even say that anymore. That used to be the thing, but it depends on the people. You know what I'm saying? And again, what else are you bringing to this table besides sex? Like, you got to look at the whole picture. And so, you know, it's so many variables and layers to this thing, and we just put it in one box. But it's something called endorphins that are released when you have sex, right? Like, it's endorphins that's released. It's all these chemicals in the brain that release. And like I said, somebody is going to get more liking than the other person. And if that's not communicated correctly or effectively, then somebody's going to always feel like they got hurt. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this, right? So, okay, so my thing is that I'm kind of riding on Lovely T with this one, on this one. And I'm going to tell you why. Right? Because, see, I know that guys play a game to get what they want. And a lot of times they do say false things that they really don't mean, just so that they can sleep with some of these women out here. Even that is to hurt your feelings. Well, it's going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to lie to you emotionally. I'm going to tell you that, you know, hey, I'm thinking about, hey, look, maybe we should take this thing to the next level. I really want to get to know you. You just seem like a very cool person. I mean, they have an agenda behind it. It's not, I don't know too many guys. And I know single men. I don't know too many guys that actually tells the truth when they're trying to get what they want. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't know too many that just be straight up front and say, hey, listen, I'm only in it for this reason. You know, hey, listen, I believe in being frank with you. You know, hey, listen, let's hook up. Let's make this happen. And hey, I'm not going to call you back. I don't think that happens. I just don't think that happens.
I see it. Believe it or not, I see it. I see it.
No, I'm not saying it don't happen.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I think this generation, this new generation, this YZ, whatever, this generation, they are very clear up front about this is just sex. You know what I'm saying?
So should we play with a certain age group then? Should we? Because there's still people. There's still people that's in their 40s and 30s and 50s, and I don't think that they're, you know, I mean, it's a thing where some men know what they want. They know exactly what they want. It's some women who know exactly what they want. Hey, I have a profession. I'm not in it for your money. I'm in it for what you can give me that's going to pleasure me at this particular time. And then guess what? You can go head on. I'll call you when I need you. You know what I mean? You have that type of class of people out here. But are we up front? And see, that's the key about it. Are we up front? Because some people gonna get hurt because of that. They're gonna. How do we protect our hearts? What is the signs that we need, that those people need to protect their hearts?
I do believe that some people are up front, but majority are not. Again, because most people don't know what they want. I'm just be honest. Most people can tell you everything they don't want, but they can't tell you what they want because they don't know what they want. People really don't know what they want. That's one thing. But two is, I think in the beginning, the man's, I just believe this. This is just maybe it's just from what I've experienced with people and clients. And I believe the men tell you up front, it's how you respond afterwards if he going to continue to play the game with you. Oh, she's not believing me because we as women, we start taking stuff, wrapping things around our head. I don't mean to beat us women up because I think we're smart. But what I'm saying is, oh, he don't mean that. Oh, I can change him. Oh, that's in his other relationships. He didn't really mean it like that. We turn things over in our head instead of having a clear conversation with them about, you know, you said that, you know, when you met me, you told me in the club that you weren't really looking for nobody. Now you all on my jock. You calling me every day. You know, so what's up? We don't say that. We get excited because they're chasing us, not understanding that it's a game. And once they get us, they're gone because they told you in the beginning, I don't want no relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So I do believe that the honesty comes out in the first moment. It's if you choose to hear it or not.
Wow, that's challenging right there. That's a challenging one right there. That's the first I've ever heard of. You the professional. That's the first I've ever heard of it. Because I mean, I just don't see any game in it unless okay, I could see, I mean, let me draw the line how I can see that. I can see that guy or the woman who are doing that because listen, they're and I'm gonna go there. They're nice looking. They know that they're nice looking. They have money. They can take care of themselves. They, you know, it's your dime a dozen to them, meaning that they have other people on the back line, you know, the black, whatever you want to call it. So they have so much confidence that, you know, it's kind of like it pushes out where they say, hey, listen, you know, that's what we're doing. This is what I do. You know, it's one of them things, you know, I think you're attractive, but guess what? I just want you to know, no attachments. No attachments, you know, but we keep this communication going. Now, I can see that for that type of person. But that person who's struggling and from relationship to relationship, I just don't see that. I don't see them being upfront. I see them and they know that they don't have it like that. They don't have it like that, that they can kind of lie to get what they want and try to throw out some bait. And that bait normally be about the money that they have or the career that they do. They'll throw that out as a thing where you will bite into it. Because listen, I'm gonna be honest. If you want me to be real, I'm gonna be honest. You have a lot of Black women. And so Black women don't get on me because I was already on you saying how successful you were.
Right.
But you have there's a lot of low self-esteem, Black women with low self-esteem, and there's a lot of men who bait on those type of women. Only go after the ones who have low self-esteem, who don't really, their career is not the best, and mine is a little dominating over yours. So you would think that I'm your dream man. And now I kind of like, hey, she probably be thinking, he's saying all the right things, and he do this, he do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And maybe he is the one. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get this up to him. You know what I mean? And now he kind of like he got what he want. Now he ain't calling me back. So you do have those guys out there who are called predators.
Yeah,
I call them predators.
I absolutely. There are predators on both sides. I totally agree with you. So how do you protect your heart on that? I'm a firm believer that you attract who you are and where you are. Okay.
That's
so
good.
If you have trust issues, guess what? You're going to attract people that's untrustworthy, period. Period. If you got fears, you know what I'm saying? You're going to attract those insecurities to yourself. And we always like to say opposites attract. I don't agree with that. I believe that you attract the same person. It's just a mirror, so it looks upside down.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So the reaction is different, but it's the same person. If you understand what I'm saying, the response
that was good.
That was
it's
really
the
good.
same person. So if you keep getting the same man in different pans, then it's you, because you're the common denominator. You understand? What I'm saying? So that's what I have to tell people, my clients. You got to heal first, so you can find the person that you really require.
Yeah.
See, we always want to put it on the other person, but are you doing your own work?
Hold on. Slow down. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. Opposites attract. Let's go back. I want to eat this popcorn. I want you to go back down that line again and go from there. You have to remember what you just said. Now let's run it back, because somebody needs to hear this. Why
you attract who and what you are. So opposites don't attract. You attract yourself. It's just a mirror. So it looks upside down. It looks opposite reflection of yourself, but it's not an opposite reflection. It's you. It's you in the other person. It's just a different response that you're receiving. We respond differently to what's happening to us, right? So as a woman, I may have trust issues, so I lash out. I go through your phone, or I follow you around, or I check your car everywhere you go. As a man, your response may be to not even address me. You got trust issues, so you just retreat. You know what I'm saying? You get quiet, but we the same. We got the same fear. We got the same insecurities. We got the same low self-esteem. It's just our response is different, because I cannot attract. I know we think like a person who is got it all together, and they meet somebody who may not have it together at all. Like we think, oh, they're opposite. No. Them fears, all that stuff is the same. What happens is he learned how to mask his, that it looked like it's success. But I promise you, public success and private failure are two different things, right? So at home, he just like her. He a mess. But on the outside, it looks good.
Wow.
That's good.
So the guy or the girl that doesn't call back, I mean, and you've worked with people, and I'm sure you've heard this time and time again. What traits typically are present in those type of people that do that?
Definitely trust and fear. Trust issues again, not trusting your heart when people scared somebody's gonna leave you first, so you do it first. I'm gonna beat them to the punch. I don't want to get hurt, right? Fear of a relationship, fear of commitment. She could be low self-esteem, like he said about women, but men have low self-esteem too.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They're oh man, she got it together. She too good for me, or her conversation, she too smart for me, or she working on her career. I'm over here working this little $10 job, man. I don't know what I want to do with my life. And you know how men are. Men are the type of people who want to have their things together before they commit. You know, I want to have my money right. I want to have my, you know, at least be on the track to get a house and a car. That's how men think usually, right? But women, we're planners, we're builders, right? So we're like, we see long term, we see abstract, right? Men are tunnel vision. They're linear.
wow.
They're tunnel vision. Women are abstract viewers, right? So we see the whole. I tell people all the time this example. If you send your man to the store to get a shirt and a tie, he's gonna come back with one shirt and one tie usually, unless he's just a shopper or something, right? If you send a lady to the store to get a shirt and a tie, she's gonna come back with 3 shirts, 5 ties, a suit, a dress for her to match, and some shoes. Am I right?
That's right. That's lady big. That's it's right.
That's how we think.
And some ordered online.
And some on the way, right?
Right.
So
right.
they're very.
But I do got a question for you, Doc.
Okay.
Let's see here. Does a man have to emotionally fall for a woman first in order to continue a relationship with her?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't believe so. Why would he? I mean, you don't know her yet. You're getting to know her. So why do you need to be emotionally involved with her? Why not? See, I think that people don't understand there's a difference between courting, there's a difference between dating. There's you see what I'm saying? Like we skipped all this stuff in 21st century. We skipped all the way over there to what's your name and number and your sign to let's go to bed. So it ain't no, it ain't no getting to know each other, ain't no dating and funny, and then I wanna date you, I wanna know you, then we're gonna take it to a relationship, then we're gonna get engaged, then we're gonna get married. We don't do that anymore. So we've lost the art of dating.
So the emotion connection doesn't come in with that, like dating, getting to know, and he's getting emotionally connected, and they're both getting emotionally connected to each other. It doesn't happen during that time.
It does come with that. What happens is we skip that. We jump over everything and go right to the bed and sex and say we're in a relationship. That's my boo and my bae.
Wow.
You don't know them. You knew them 2 days. You knew them 2 weeks. You don't know them.
So what do you think so? And I'm so glad that you're putting that out there, because it's it's true. And so in your business, your matchmaking business, what do you tell your clients in terms of like a recommendation for that dating period? Or is it really just as unique as the 2 people getting together?
I really think it's as unique as the 2 people getting together. You can sleep with somebody on the first night and be with them for the next 40 years. It just worked. Or you can sleep with somebody on the first night and it's a wrap, So there's no one way to do anything. Again, I think it depends on the 2 individual people and what they're looking for and what they want at that time. Are you willing to work on the relationship? See, we want easy peasy macaroni and cheese microwavable stuff. We want it popcorn now. So when it gets hard and it gets rough, because that's going to happen, as we know, like, oh man, you changed on me, you switched up on me, no, we didn't know each other. You want to know somebody, you go through something.
Wow.
Go through something.
So now let me ask you this. Can we be too needy?
Oh God.
Too needy going into this conversation. I have an agenda. When I'm looking online, I'm looking for a husband. Maybe I'm looking in all the wrong areas, but I'm looking for a husband. Right. And we're going to talk about marriage, and he's going to throw out what he believes about marriage. And now in my mind as a woman, I believe this the one. He wants to be married. We talk about it. Now we're going to hook up. And now after this amazing, whatever you want to call happen, this cat ain't calling me back. I'm just saying, could we, how do we protect our heart? Are we too needy? Should we not? Our expectations shouldn't be so desirable to want to do certain things. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Now I'm talking about our generation now. Like this, what are we? Y, Z, I don't know where we are. Where we, Gen? I don't know. I'm 50.
Gen X, something.
I'm 50, so
I'm 50.
We're Gen X.
We're Gen X.
Yeah.
Gen X. Okay, I'm gonna talk about us because we're the most neediest
Yeah.
generation.
Wow.
You better preach on that.
Preach it.
This the most wanna be married generation in the world. When I say the most clingiest, neediest women in the
Yeah.
world, I just want to be married. I just want a husband. Everybody around me is married, and I want a family, and I want to. God, first of all, do you like yourself? Can you live with you? Can you live with you?
Yes. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to get still, and like I said, they don't want to do their work. Everybody ready to get married, but do you know what marriage really entails? Like, do you know what it is to live with a person every day, all day? You got to share everything, and so we've become. And I'm beating on the women. I love women. Please, y'all, don't beat me up. But I'm just saying because this is what I seen. But
the truth. You talking
we're the most independent thing in the world, right? We got our money, we got our job, we got our cars, we want our stuff the way it is. So how we got room to let anybody else in? And our expectations are unmanageable and unrealistic.
Wow.
Let's just be for real. You want this man to make 6 figures. You want him to be the boss and handsome and all of these things. But guess what that includes? That means he ain't gonna be at home, boo, because he got to go work and make them 6 fingers. He's not gonna be at dinner at 7 o'clock every night. It's not possible. He's not gonna be at PTA meetings because he is at work to make sure that you have the house. So you can't be mad because you can't have it all. And I think our expectations are unrealistic in marriage because people are not telling them the truth. What a real marriage entails. I've been married almost 20 years. It's work.
Oh, yes.
It's work. It's not, I don't say it's hard because me and my husband are best friends, but it's work. You know what I'm saying? And he get on my nerves and I get on his. Sometimes I don't want to see him. He don't want to see me. Can you leave today? Can you find a friend to go to lunch with or something? Because I'm tired of looking at you. It's going to be days like that.
Yeah.
But people don't want to be honest about that.
Go ahead, Lovely T.
So for women who are in that thinking, because I ain't gonna lie, like like I had my son a little later. I don't know what what you would call averaging these days, but I think and I'm just throwing this out here. This is my own observation. I think when women may have not started that family, especially women who are career oriented, because maybe they chose to go to school and work on their career first. So now they're hitting their 30s and that biological clock is ticking. And like you say, everybody around them, they get into the danger zone of comparing themselves to what's going on. So anyway, I just said that to say, like, hormonally, biologically, all of this is, going on with them. And so they're like, I got to get married. I got to, what advice do you give maybe women in that situation who are listening? Like, when should they look at the mirror and say, stop? You know what I'm saying? Like, you done been on 3 different dates and none of them called you back. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you should stop and take inventory. Like, what? And I mean, maybe it is just doing that. But what do you suggest for those women?
I definitely suggest if you're in that situation to date a lot. Go have fun. Go date different men. Go have fun. I didn't say sleep with. I said date. Go have fun with different men to find out what you really want, what you're looking for, and put yourself out there so you can be found. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't think everyone is the one. I think that's the problem. We want to find that one so fast so we can be in a relationship. Date around. See what's that. Now, if you've been on 5 dates and ain't nobody call you back, then there's something going on with your personality.
Now that's good right there. I mean, because sometimes in this new world, whatever you want to call it, new society, it's that do men. And the reason why I'm on more men right now. Do men?
Because I'm on the women and I don't want to get in trouble. So you be on the men. Go ahead.
That's right. Do men, and this is a good thing, do men, are they looking now more for an independent woman more so than they are a woman who always needs something and they have to run to their what is that old word about the prince and the king? You know, he got to come and rescue her all the time, and because
Prince
she's so
Charming.
needy, and he feel like, wait a minute, you wasting my time because you calling me too much. You always want to do this. I don't want to. I'm straight with you. You can't just go work your job and then we can connect together. I mean, what is it? Is it? Do men, are they looking more for more independent women?
I think so. But again, remember, a man needs to be needed at the same time. It's okay to be independent and still make your man feel needed. That's another thing we don't do. We so independent. We want to do it all and be in control. No, listen. When my husband around, I can't do nothing. I can't pick that bag. I'm like, oh, that's too heavy. Oh, can you grab that for me? I can't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna make him I let him be the man all day. Now, if he ain't there, I might move a house. You understand what I'm saying? Around, baby, can you get that box of me? It's too heavy. Can you go grab my bag out the car, please? You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna show him that I need him. I appreciate him. I can't do what a man do, and I don't want to. You understand what I'm saying? I think the time is that we are so independent that we don't know how to let them be men. We want to run over them, but at the same time, then we mad because they let us run over them. No, you can't have it both ways. Like, just chill, be a lady, chill out and let him be the man. It's a time to be independent. You understand what I'm saying? But it's a time to be dependent. And I think that's the problem now is, yes, I think men want independent women because they like our grind. They like our hustle. They like our creativity. They love that we go get us. But they don't want their business partner in the bed with them. They don't want nobody telling them how to have sex. Move to the side. You ain't doing it right. Get over here. Put your leg over there. They don't want make that man feel like a man. And I
know, Doc, what about egalitarian relationships? And I mean, I know that I've heard that play out probably more so in the Caucasian communities. But yeah, what about is there space for like I said, egalitarian approach where is when you say let a man be a man, like maybe the man is the better cook or more domesticated or you know what I mean, like
dual roles are different. I think dual roles are different. You understand what I'm saying when I say that? Like he loved to cook. I let him cook. I wash the dishes. You understand? I'm gonna clean up the kitchen because I appreciate you cooking. Dual roles are different as opposed to being controlling and independent. Like a lot of times we're so independent. It's my stuff. It's my car. I bought my own house. I don't need you. All that attitude, all that right there, cut that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no man trying to deal with all that mouth. I'm just serious. All that attitude. It's a time and a place for everything. Cut that.
Let me ask you this. From the perspective of him calling you back, so he will return the call. Should the woman, now I get what you're saying, when you guys are, to me, that sounds more or less like when you guys are now together. You know what I mean? You're together, but I'm saying to even get that call back, should the woman not feel that she have to call him all the time? You being needy all the time where it's giving him his space because maybe he's not ready to get married. Maybe he's not married. Maybe he's not ready to make that commitment to you, excuse me, or anybody else. And vice versa. Maybe the woman is not ready to make that commitment. I'm saying in that aspect, should you lay off from being so needy right now when that's not what he's looking for?
Absolutely. But again, that comes back to communication. And again, we're not communicating. You can still be soft and a woman and independent and communicate well. Same thing with a man. He can be manly and masculine and all that things and communicate. Communicate. Listen, baby boo, I don't need you to call me 10 times a day. I got you. I'm thinking about you too. I hit you up when I get off work or when I got time. You don't have to call me 10 times. That's a problem for me. Say that. Now, if she continues, then you got a problem. You got a stalk on your hand. You need to cut that off. But if you don't communicate that, see, what we do is we get frustrated and angry and we don't have a conversation with the person. We tell everybody else, man, this chick, man, she blowing my phone up, man. She text me 200 times a day, but you ain't said that to her. And you haven't acknowledged her text. You're ignoring her now because you're frustrated, right? So she's getting even more pressing because she's trying to figure out what's going on. Why you not hitting me back? Because you done got on my nerves, man. So just listen. You gotta be upfront with people. People do not want to confront each other because they think that means argumentative, or it means confrontation is not a negative word, and that's the way we use it. It just means, look, I'm setting boundaries for my life and I'm setting boundaries for my relationship. You don't call me 10 times a day, period. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't no emergency, ain't nobody dead, you ain't lost no limb, ain't nobody bleeding, it can wait.
Well, let me ask you this. How should that single person approach the situation in terms of even when they're looking, because maybe should they be upfront with the conversation, because maybe this person is looking for marriage and this person is not. So, but they don't, how should that person approach the situation when they have that first phone call? Should they admit that in their conversation, or should they just stay away from, listen, I'm looking to be married, I'm just letting you know that now, I'm looking to have kids? Should they throw that out there at the beginning?
No, I do not think in the beginning. I tell women all the time, you talk too much. You talk too doggone much. Shut up. Like, why you gotta tell everything? The first time you get the person on the phone all day, you want to tell him about all the boyfriends that cheated on you and who hit you and who left you and how many babies. It's a date. Get to know. Let's just have some fun. Let it be light. We don't even know where it's gonna go yet. Why do he gotta know your whole life story? And that's another reason they don't call back, or they know how to treat you going forward, because you told them what you accept. Period. Stop talking so much. Just
that's good.
Keep it chill.
That is good. That is good. But at what point? I don't want to say at what point. I will just say, like, kind of, I think going back to Tone's point a little bit, is that communication is important. But I think that women have to look at, because like you were saying, men are visual, women are audio. So women have a tendency to listen and grasp the words, right? And my point to that is, you could ask a guy straight up, like, okay, this is about to go down. You ain't gonna like not call me the next day, right? He. And of course he'll be like, oh girl, stop, whatever,
Right.
And the next day he don't call. And so you believed him because he said one thing but did another. So going back to Tom's question, like, and maybe there's no like single answer for it, but
I got
you can't protect yourself from that because you. Okay.
Because the reason you asked that question is because you already knew he wasn't gonna call you. So why you don't trust your gut? Why you don't trust your gut?
Wow.
If you have to even go there, then you already know what you're dealing with. But see, we don't want to be honest about what we're dealing with, what we see, because we always want to give a person a chance and give a person the benefit of the doubt. Hell no. You know what you're dealing with. Either you accept it or you don't. So don't be trying to point fingers later, because you knew what you were getting. But we don't want to trust that feeling. We don't want to trust that gut.
So is there a method to this madness? I mean, is there something that they should be?
I just need to say, girl, bye. You is a mess and telling the truth all at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, but what is the method to this? I mean, how should they approach the? Is there a method?
The method is know yourself. See, when you secure and you good with you, then you don't need nobody else to validate you. You don't need nobody else to make you feel good about what's happening. You are good with you. Not saying that we don't need people and all that, but what I'm saying is I have enough going on with my life that I don't need to call a man 20 times a day. I ain't got time to call. So when you got your own stuff going on, you find balance in relationships. What happens is we, women especially, we get so caught up in relationship that we lose ourselves, and then we start trying to please the other person. Not saying that men don't, because trust me, men do too now, especially. But when you have your own life and you know who you are and where you're going and you're focused, then you can have a balance. And I think that for a lot of people, they don't have that balance because they just all over the place. So you look for somebody to come and balance you, but you out of balance. They can't do that. And you're going to keep picking out of balance people. And then you're going to be mad all the time. And now you're bitter and you're angry all the time. But you, again, it all comes back to you. You got to do your work first. Because when I'm good, I'm going to pick a good person for me.
See, listen.
That's so good.
These people are, listen, I'm talking to the audience.
Yeah,
you know,
very
again,
good.
you should be writing this stuff down. I mean, you want to know why he's not calling you back, or he or she, whoever it is. Listen, maybe you want too much. Maybe in the first place, maybe he wants just as much as you do.
Hold on. Let me say this. Let me make this disclaimer. Maybe they just ain't for you. Maybe you ain't putting yourself up high enough either. It ain't nobody. It ain't always because you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you are more than they are. And sometimes we want to thumb ourselves down so we can fit in because we feel like, oh, everybody else is getting along. Maybe I need to lower my standards or lower myself and come down and accept something. Hell no. Set your standards, set your boundaries, and stay there. Because there's somebody there for you. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be trying to, fit in. That's the problem. Everybody want to just do enough to just say I'm in a relationship. No, because it's going to lead to resentment and it's going to lead to, you know what I'm saying? Set your standards and stay there. And you will get there, but you also have to be comfortable enough to know that you may be alone for a minute. So you need to be good with yourself. Alone. I love my alone time. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, please leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't like to be alone. They don't want to be in the quiet because the quiet is too loud.
Wow.
People don't want to be quiet and still because that quiet is loud.
Let me say that you said the quiet is too loud.
The quiet is too loud. You yourself. See, when you get quiet and get still, you got to look at you. And people don't want to look at themselves.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
very
good.
powerful advice. Yeah.
That's good.
I appreciate it's good advice and it's very plain in terms of how you putting it out there. Like, can't nobody misconstrue what the heck you saying. I appreciate the just the candidness and the directness of what you're saying, and it's uncomfortable for people to hear, but it's the truth. At least from my perspective, I believe it's
we all want to be loved. We all want to be in a relationship, and we all should be, but at what cost? And that's what I'm saying, because it's going to be some give and take. It's going to be some, what I'm saying, everybody has to compromise. My husband say I'm not a good compromiser, but everybody has to compromise. So what I'm saying to you is decide what your compromise is. Make a decision on what you're going to compromise on. Understand what I'm saying? Don't compromise your values. Don't compromise your health and your mental health or spiritual health, your physical health and your emotional health to say that you have a relationship. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna backfire. So be okay for the moment of being alone. And trust yourself enough.
That's where some people have a problem at that alone thing. Because I know some people personally. I would never say their name, but it's like they had to be in one relationship after they got out that when they jumped to another one, got married, then jumped out that one, had a divorce, got married again, then they got married again. It's like it's an ongoing thing. So it's like not liking to be alone.
Let me ask you a question. That's a good question. I mean, that's good what my wife just said. My thing is this in that area, because there's people out there that are like that. How do they have time to heal from the last marriage? And it's like they're taking baggage over to the next one.
They don't. That's why they keep jumping, because ain't nobody did no healing. Everybody running to the next and running to the next. And so like you said it. They keep dragging that baggage with them. They keep dragging it back because again, nobody's looking at themselves. They want to point the finger at the other person. If they would have just done this, if they would have acted right, if they would have did this, we would have still been together. you're the common denominator. I keep saying you're the common denominator in these relationships. So guess what that means? You are a problem.
That's some listen, guys.
Wow.
Listen, that's some good. You got some good information that you didn't even have to pay for.
Yeah,
She could have charged you for that information. Look, you didn't have to pay for that. You write it down. Look back at it. Play the video over and over again if you have to.
Yes.
I mean, just so you can really get it synced in. Is it that they didn't call you back because of you? Now, some people are just scumbags out there. They didn't call you back because they had an agenda. You know, I believe that as well. You know, it's not always just you, but if it keep happening, maybe it's you. I mean, maybe it's you this time. You know what I mean? You just got, I don't know, but you just, we got to look at this and look at it and digress, sit down, meditate on this and just say, why? You know, I tell my son, before you go in there and pray, write down what you want to pray about. You know what I mean? So, maybe we need to get a pencil and paper and just start writing down who we are. I don't know. What do we just write it down and look back at it? Look back at it, and maybe that's, I don't know.
Then it's a lot of people a lot of women that's in a home now and they're during this pandemic and they're bored because I hear a lot of people say, I'm so bored. So maybe that's when they fall into these traps too easily because they so bored.
There's a lot going on out there. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people out there who's searching online. I mean, this is so big because we're in the pandemic. So they're searching online. They're looking for someone to talk with. And then if they can hook up, they're going to hook up. And then, we don't even care about ourselves because think about it. You don't even know if this person you meet have corona, don't have the Rona. You hooking up, going in, they got the Rona, and you don't even care because you just want to be married. You just want to be married. And maybe this joker, or I don't want to call him a joker, maybe this person is, guys, listen, protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. We have to think. We got to really think this thing out. What is it? What is it that you're really looking for? And is this the person that you looking at? Listen, if you playing the game, they said, what they say, stay out of the kitchen if you don't want to get burnt. Don't play this game if you don't. There's a chance you expecting that phone call not to come back. You get what I mean? Because you're playing the game. Search this thing out. No, like I think the doctor said something good when she said, "Know yourself." Know you. You have to know you. So and listen, powerful. She's a doctor. I'm just going on what she said. So, know you. Know yourself. That could be a reason why you may not be getting the phone call back. Maybe this is not the right person for you. And you already know it, but you still playing the game because guess what? Loneliness creeping in. Like I said, that noisy. Listen, I want to say this. That loud, that quiet. What do you say? Quiet is noisy. What do you say about that?
That quiet is loud. The quiet is so loud. It's
that's
too
deep
loud.
right there.
Yeah.
That's deep right there. You should write a book on that. That should be a book, Doc. You should put a book together on that one. That's quietness is loud. That is good. That's I might have to steal that.
Listen, as you keep talking about these men playing games, these men need to ask themselves why they playing games. Like,
that's good.
Why are you playing games? Because it's one thing to just, be out here having a good time. You have several lady friends that you deal with or whatever. That's fine as long as the understanding is there. But if you're playing games because you, again, afraid of commitment, you're running from yourself. That's what I say. Yeah. You're running from yourself and you're running from something that you don't want to face. So you keep dipping. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself, why are you playing games? Seriously.
So now,
that should be the next question.
So to get this in perspective, because there's somebody out there who just want to. How can we bring this together and put these in some definitions? In terms of like what should we do? And I know it's not guaranteed that nobody's going to call you back, but I'm saying, what should they do? Like, there's some warnings or no, in terms of themselves, what should they strive for to possibly even get the call back? Do you have anything in some words that we can use that somebody can jot down as they're listening?
First of all, be honest. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the person. Again, if you know that you are not ready for a relationship or you are looking for a relationship, be clear on that up front. You know what I'm saying? So people know what to expect. Now, if they choose to misuse that or abuse that, once they get that information, that's different. But at least you know that you put it out there. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, I think the problem is nobody's talking. Everybody's just assuming and in their head that this person knows what I want. No, I don't know what you want. I know what I want. Number two, you know what I'm saying? So number two is, take it easy, chill. Don't be such in a rush, to carry this thing to the altar. Let's take our time. Let's get to know each other. Let's find out if we're really on the road together. Like, we don't have to be married in 6 months. I mean, the only people I know do that is church people. So unless you like a pastor and you need to get married for the sake of, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I mean, chill. Just chill. It's okay. Like, let's take it slow. And I think a lot of people don't know what that feels like because we're so used to just going after what we want. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's just slow down and get our emotions in check. Make sure that we have our eyes and our ears open. Because a lot of times we're thinking with our head and our heart and we're not looking with our eyes. So we miss a lot of things. And then when the bottom falls out, we're, oh my God, he did say that. I did say that. I saw that. Oh my good. You know what I'm saying? You go back to those regrets. So let's. So
when you say slow down, real quick though, when you say slow down, what do you mean for that person that might be listening?
Again, date, court. Court each other. Get to, let them come pick you up. Let them, you know what I'm saying? Let them take you out. Let them show you a good time without necessarily jumping into bed. I think a lot of times we've been taught that sex is part of relationships, so we go immediately to sex. And so Steve Harvey says make them wait 90 days?
90-day rule.
90-day rule.
You gonna learn or not?
I mean, not everybody is going to wait 90 days, but I'm saying at least give yourself that time to see, because once the sex is there, the view is obscured. I'm telling you, it everything changes when the sex is entered the picture, right? So you can see and you can hear more clear when you haven't involved the intimacy yet. So that's what I mean by slow down. Just slow down. Just get a hold of your flesh. Because see, that's another thing. That's a whole nother subject right there. Get a hold of your flesh. Because that, to me, tell me you ain't got no self-discipline.
Wow.
See, that's good.
Yeah.
So you heard, guys, listen, we're giving you some tips out here. Maybe they work. I will hope that they will work for you. They would work for you because maybe you I guess the bigger issue is you want that call back. You want that call back. You don't want to seem so needy or then, go into a depression or whatever because nobody's calling you back and it's making you feel like maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not cute enough or, whatever it is. And maybe it's just the personality that just need to, what she just said, the doctor said. I don't want to throw things out. Maybe what the doctor said. So just listen. Listen to what she's saying.
Most definitely.
Listen to what she's saying. Maybe that can help. Go ahead.
Yeah, and if you probably want some, help later, even talking with Dr. Keba, she's gonna kind of give you guys some information where she can be reached or some contact information.
Let's get off into that, Dr. Keba. What do you do?
I'm actually a psychotherapist, so I'm a mental health therapist, like the previous guest. So I do individual, family, marriage counseling. I do all of it. I specialize in trauma and abuse. I work with human trafficking victims a lot. I have a nonprofit that we work with human trafficking as well. I'm a relationship expert as well. You were talking about the book. I have a book called Better, and it's 21 acts and answer questions about love, life, and relationships.
Where can they find that book?
We can find it online. I can www.better.life. For you, but
do you have a podcast or anything that you talk about relationships?
You know what? everybody asking me, I'm trying to find the right platform because I had a morning show. I had a radio show some years back, a morning show Monday through Friday, inspirational type, and I need to find the right platform again. So I'm looking at that. Yes, I really want a show called What Happened to You, because I think it's not what's wrong with you, it's what happened to you.
Wow.
And so because that's what it is. Like, what happened that made you act like this or behave like this? So yeah, I'm looking for the right platform.
Okay. Well, listen, we're going to be reaching back out to you as well. We had good guests to this.
Yes.
That I really appreciate these guests here. And maybe
we want to have bring you on.
Maybe we should have every other week of relationship. We get into, because we used to get into some deep conversations.
Yeah,
been a part of those conversations that we had, and maybe that'd be helpful to our audience out there. We could play around with it, but we have someone here that's a professional. But I think that even our co-hosts and hosts, our co-hosts here, they're professional in that business as well. But the doc, it was. I know that it would be great to continue this conversation. And
if I could throw out there too, Tom, real quick, like April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So you talked about human trafficking. Like that's a whole and trauma and everything. That's a topic that we didn't even step into, but because that's your expertise, maybe that's another time we could think about.
January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. So all month I've been out speaking on human trafficking, but again, that's 12 months a year too as well. And so absolutely, I would love to, because I love relationships. I love helping couples and people figure it out on how to stay together. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like you said, I like to give it to you real and raw, so you don't even have to guess how I think. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to be authentic, right? We have to be right.
Well, that's great. So, listen, guys, this was you had a whole lot of good information from the first pod to the second one. And we really think that this is enough for something that you to keep in your storage or whatever up here in your brain. So when you get online and, you do that search or whatever it is you do, looking for that right person or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you call it these days, but just to get that call back, maybe you should follow some of these tips that's been thrown out from the doc, and it may be hurt. I mean, it may help in your what they call it, your toolbox or whatever. Maybe these tools may help get that call back. I don't know, you know what I mean? So, but we're here to just push out good information. Now, is there? Do we put the book up?
Yes, we put the book up. And what about information for reaching you? If someone just needs to reach you on this,
or how to get the book?
How to get the book? What should we do? I thought.
We put that up.
Yeah, the website. I gave you the website for the book. www.better.life. Actually, they can reach me there. Yeah, all social media. Keba Richmond Green. I don't think the doctor's in front of anything. Or Professor Keba Richmond Green. Professor K Green on Instagram. I think that's it. I'm on all social media. You can find me everywhere. You can DM me. You can go to my website. It comes to me. I can definitely get in touch with anybody who needs it.
Guys, get the book. You need that book. You know you need that book. Some of y'all need that book. You know you need that book. That's why ain't nobody calling you back, because you don't have the book.
That's just the first volume. We're gonna do another one. We're gonna do a parenting. We're gonna do a sex. We're gonna do a teen. We're gonna keep going with the volumes of it. So watch out.
Yeah, I see some good stuff with Dr.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about it. Hey, we'll come together and talk about it. So I want to do some things. I celebrate these educated women out here, that's out here. And we need to bring more men as well. Yeah. But we've been pushing. There's been a lot of women on here. I'm telling you, there's been a lot of educated women. And guess what? Hey, that's good. I mean, that's a good thing, whatever. As long as we have someone on there that's educated enough that could talk about it, we just happen to have talking more women. Men, you got to step your game up. Come on now, we got to step our game up. So that's
I
what's
know
going
plenty
on.
of men. I know plenty of men. If y'all need some suggestions, I don't
Well,
mind.
then there it is. So we're gonna talk.
Definitely.
We're gonna talk. See, if this pandemic wasn't going on, my thing was I wanted to do a reality. See, Atlanta, Georgia have all the reality shows, and they have that put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Put a ring on it is real good
It's
where
real
they
good.
do the conversation. They send the couples out on dates, and see, I wanted to do a show. You know, I have the camera equipment. I mean, that's what we do. I wanted to do a show and put that on.
And have us some psychologists.
Yeah. We have the people. You know, that's right. And we could have did our own thing for Michigan.
Yeah.
Where are you called? Are you in Michigan or where? Are
I'm
you?
in Atlanta.
Oh, see, that's why.
What part of Atlanta?
Southwest, like Douglasville.
Okay.
Southwest.
Well, see,
Yeah.
you already know what time it is. You down there.
Douglasville, is it nice? Just want to know.
Yeah. It's nice. I travel.
That's right.
Tony.
Okay, well that's right. So we're gonna be talking because it's a big man. I wish this thing wasn't going on. I want to do so much in documentaries and putting out shows and different things. I see a whole nother mindset in this thing because I mean, you know, you have it. There's people who look at this all day, every day. These type of shows,
Most
you know,
definitely.
and I know we can make it happen. So but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But we thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
you know,
for having me.
We definitely going to be reaching out to you again real soon to put something together and be more prepared to throw out some things that can actually help someone. And we'll make a day of that show. I mean, you know, that's what the show will be about.
People on that's going through something.
Yeah, that's going through it. Yeah,
have you on too. So,
have you on too, and then we do a little dialogue and conversation. Who knows? I mean, and then definitely market the book. You know what I mean? For those people, go out and buy the book. You go get the book. The book is, you know, it's we put the address up real quick one more time for the book. The producer. So go out and get this book. And listen, support her business. You know, and it's actually going to be, it's going to help you out as well. You know, so I don't know if she put the producer, the producer that she put up, the producer fell asleep. She maybe walked out the door or something. I don't know if she fell asleep or walked out the door.
Don't throw her under the bus like that.
Put the there we go. She woke up now. She's woken up. So there we go. That's the website. Go get the book. And guess what? We would love to talk to you again. But that's how we're going to call the show in today.
Yes.
We thank you so much out there in Atlanta. It ain't sunny out there yet. It's sunny. It's the sun shining right now.
It was beautiful today. It was like 60 degrees. It was a beautiful sunny day here today.
Oh, well, then we'll take that because
I'm sorry, Detroit. I know y'all didn't want to hear that.
Yeah, we're in the snow.
Oh no!
You see, we got this fireplace. Maybe that's bringing us some type of warmth through the television, right?
I have so much family in the Motor City, so trust me, I know.
You know. Yeah. All right, but we appreciate you, and we will definitely be reaching back out to you again. Huh?
No.
Oh, I gotta clean that up. I got so much popcorn on the floor right here.
I'm the same way. Like I miss my mouth all the time with popcorn. What is that?
I don't know. It's all on the ground right here.
This was a good conversation.
This was a good conversation. I got popcorn all over. I was just saying that was over. So I got to get the vacuum cleaner before I leave. You know what I mean? Break this up. But we thank you again, and we appreciate you. And that's the end of the show. Guys, make sure that you like and subscribe to this here page. Share. We come on every Sunday at 4:45
p.m.
EST. And guys, we go to our Facebook. We on Facebook. We on YouTube. We on Facebook. We have an IG. We even have a website that goes live when this goes live. So if you don't want to come on these, or if you know somebody who want to take a look at the show, they can easily go to our website and view this as we're on now, and it's actually live. So always remember that. And guys, we ask you to definitely have a lovely day, and we look forward to seeing you on our next show.
That's right.
And maybe we'll get more into playing more games because I think me and RW2 was about to beat y'all this time. I think we
so now that you see you can win.
Right. Now they want to play more because
didn't want to play.
That's right. We were
That's
doing
all right,
good.
though. But me and Lovely T will get you.
That's right. That's right.
All
So,
right.
guys, we'll talk to you soon. And listen, like they say, have a lovely day.
Lovely day.
Lovely day.
That's right.